Okay, good evening, everybody. This is the Loggerhead Net. We are live from Southwest Florida. This net will be coming live from Sanibel Island, and it covers all of Southwest Florida. And it's in an effort to keep the frequencies alive and active, and also to go ahead and give us a chance to check our radios and make sure that we're all good in case the big one hits. You know how it is. So that's pretty much what we're doing tonight, and this is the Loggerhead Net. There'll be general discussion on here about ham radio, about radios, about frequencies, propagation, and how everybody's doing, stuff like that. So it's a pretty good way to if you're interested in ham radio and you want to hear what it's like and to sit and just talk about radios on the radio. It's pretty cool. This would be a good one to check out. And I'll be monitoring the chat. I'm signed in now. I'm monitoring the chat. If anybody has anything that they would like to say to me, I can respond to you in the chat. Once the net goes, I'll stay quiet unless I'm talking on the net. And then if there is dead space, I'll come back in and update you guys. On the screen there on the mid left is going to be the Sanibel Causeway on the way out to the island, and then we've also got the upper picture there that you see next to the Loggerhead Net banner. That is actually a live shot of right off the coast of Sanibel there. A beautiful sunset about to happen, and so we're going to be watching that as the net takes off. This net is broadcast on 146.790 with a negative offset. PL 136.5 is broadcast from City Hall in downtown Sanibel Island, which is about mid-island, and this is on the coast of Lee County, Southwest Florida. The nearest cities are Cape Coral and Fort Myers. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And yeah, we are picking up another net that's way up in the north part of the state. They're usually ending about the time we start.
Well, listening to the Kerchunks, sounds like we have at least two stations on the net tonight. Hi. And welcome, guys, to the last edition of the Loggerhead Net for April 2025. This is WA4, WDV, that's right. Sharing the on-air meeting of the Sanibel Ham Emergency Unit. The Loggerhead Net is operating on the W4 SBL repeater. Frequency is 146.79 megahertz. PL tone of 136.5 hertz. This is a directed net. All communication should be directed to net control, as you know. Repeater, sponsored by the City of Sanibel under the Sanibel Emergency Management Plan. Yeah, they're paying the bill. And is maintained by the Fort Myers Amateur Radio Club. Thanks an awful lot, guys. This repeater, located at City Hall on Sanibel Island, Florida. You don't have to be a member of the Loggerhead Net this evening to join us, because all hams worldwide are welcome. So here we go. WA4 WDV calling for initial check-ins for the Loggerhead Net. Call now.
Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Foxtrot Sierra, Ian in North Fort Myers.
November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel, John and Matt Lachey. Whiskey 4, Echo Juliet Whiskey, Ed in Cape Coral.
Kilo 4, Romeo Alpha Bravo, Rick in Fort Myers. KI4 GED, Charles, East Fort Myers. Okay, welcome in back to Ham. And then we've got Ian. Welcome back to Ian. We've got John over there and Matt Lachey, Ed, Rick, and Charles. Who else would like to be initial check-in for the Loggerhead Net? If you want to be one, call now. Call.
This is Whiskey 6, Whiskey, Tim in Fort Myers.
Hey, Tim, we got you in the log. Anybody else? guess we'll go ahead and start. And as we go through the list here, if anybody has any information on AA4JS, I haven't heard them check in here for the last 3 weeks. Wonder what's going on. If anybody has any info, pass it along. Well, we had a lot of different kinds of activities here this week. I know Ham might be interested in one or two of them. Because of history involved with some of them. One of them is most historic was this receiving station in Wales celebrating the radio guy Marconi for the receiving station they had there. It was pretty interesting if you read about it. And then I also talked to the other end, the transmitting station in Long Island, and there was one in New Brunswick on this end, both of those. Anyway, they had guys in the field next to where the antenna was. Take a break. And the buildings that were used to house the families of the operators and maintenance people back in the day. It was turn of the century to about 1937 when they operated it. Anyway, they're still there and still people living in them. So anyway, that was all very interesting. We had a de-expedition in Anegada Island, I guess that's right, down in the British Virgin Islands. Oh my goodness, the list goes on here. Here's one for you, Ham, a 35th anniversary celebration of the Hubble telescope. Yeah, that was coming out of Alabama there. And, well, we got some others that we could talk about, but let me take another break for my last comment. Hold on. We got KJ4NKL, Mike from Sanibel here, is out of range for the net tonight. He's on the road going to his purchase of the gold mine, the abandoned gold mine in Arizona. So he's taking his dog and the 4-day drive out there in the truck, and spending 3 days out there checking out the property, and then 4 days back. But looks like he's getting closer and closer to pulling his trigger on that one, becoming a gold miner in this abandoned gold mine in Arizona. So let's go ahead and get started. Take up the whole hour here. K4HKA, now's the time, Ham. WA4WDV, go ahead.
Maybe this is K4HKA. That's interesting about Mike. He's a man of many surprises. Well, it's been a busy week for me. We had our bonsai auction yesterday. It took me about 3 or 4 days to get ready for that. On the radio side of life, I did install some ferrite beads between my PC and 7300 because I was having trouble with wind link staying on. I stopped working on the SX 100, the Helicrafters, because it got pretty complicated. But you would love this. Today is Samuel Morse's birthday. He was born April 27th, 1791 in Boston, the guy who invented the Morse code. Back to net, K4HKA.
K4HKA, WA4WDV. Wow, I didn't know that. And what surprises me more is that there was no special event station was being carried for that auspicious occasion. So maybe we're doing a heavy lifting here. Rick would be a commenter on that, RAB, but yeah, that's interesting. And it seems like you have those bonsai auctions about every other week. Hi, you can comment on that on the second round here. And then also, Ham, comment on that those ferrite beads work. I've in the past on my equipment, and I didn't see much improvement. I'm wondering if you got some good results out of those. If you could take a note on that. Meanwhile, we'll move on to Ian, who's back from points north, I guess. KO4EFS, WA4WDV. Ian, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm back online here finally. I came out 3 days ago to the shack. Left my primary computer. I got 7, but I left my primary computer broadcasting the New Jersey wildfire scanner feeds and all kinds of stuff. I came up in the morning to the blue screen of death, and some kind of major issue with my boot sector on my hard drive. So I ended up having to buy a new hard drive, reinstall Windows, and I've spent 3 days putting this thing back together so I can broadcast. We are live tonight on YouTube. This is the first broadcast out of this new system, and but it seems to be doing pretty well. A few little minor problems, but I think it's going right now. So the net is going out. By the way, you're breaking up pretty good. You actually dropped out a few times. I don't know. The propagation's not good tonight, I guess. Other than that, that's what I've been doing. Joseph and I went to Tampa yesterday and took down a 30-foot tower and added that to the tower that we're banking up here. I think we've got it 70 or 80 feet of Roan 45 or Roan 25 here. And we're just trying to find it. If anybody has anything they want taken down, we'll do it. Just let us know. We would love to have the tower. We're looking to put up repeaters. We're putting up a whole network of repeaters. All right, I'll pass it to the second round. It's good to hear everybody. And yeah, I'd like to know what's going on with John. I'm worried about him. KO4 EFS.
KO4 EFS, WA4WDV. Yeah, thanks for backing me up on that comment about John. See if anybody has any info here. We're coming to the some of the guys that may have info on him. Yeah, the New Jersey wildfire, apparently set by a teenager. I don't think he was doing it on purpose, but he had some kind of a, as you know, some kind of a bonfire that he didn't properly make sure it was out, and that's what started it. And boy, you're setting up repeater farms at every place, aren't you? That's pretty good. Yeah, I know about the blue screen of death. That's not good. And well, next time around, tell me what operating system you're putting on there. I think you said Windows, but which version are you going for, Ian? And welcome back on here. Good to hear you. Meantime, we're going to hear from our guy in Matt Lachey, John, N6, JDH, WA4, WDV. John, go ahead.
Thank you, Net Control, for holding the net tonight. I've just been doing a lot of HF, mostly HF, but I hit Russia a few times the last few days. The bands really shifted during the weekend. They were terrible most of the week, but of course there was the Florida QSO party. But just been, doing a lot of HF. I did visit with John for a little bit today, and he's holding his own. That's about all I can say. Back to net.
N6 JDH, WA4WDV. Well, that's our first piece of information there, John. About the other John, I didn't know there was a problem. So, where is he? Is he at home or is he back in the hospital? Go ahead. 6 JDH, WA4WDV. You still copying me, John? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Ned. I'm so accustomed to pressing the foot pedal these days. I forgot I had to push the talk on the desk mic. He's in the hospital. He's holding his own. He's got a long ways to go, but per his family, per his sister, no visitors right now. There's only a handful that go, and but he's holding his own.
Wow. See, I didn't know any of that. Okay, on the next go around, you can tell us if he'll answer emails, and if he's listening to this, if he's got a HT out there. If you got any information on that, I'm really sorry to hear that. I wasn't aware of it. But yeah. Oh yeah, the bands. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you had all that HF activity, John. And it was like you say, it was spotty up and down during the week. but I had that Florida QSO party. I did make a few contributions to that, and there was a guy in Fort Myers on there that I gave him a log for. It was, it was. That's who it was. He said he was a new guy, and it was AJ KR4ZGD. Does anybody know him? Goes by AJ. Okay. And then there was a lot. I had Norway and Saudi Arabia and those guys over there in Kuwait. Yeah, in that area. But Tim probably has more info on that. He likes to work the special events and contests. But those were the ones I worked for starters there. There was quite a bit on. Okay, now we're going to Ed. Yes, Ed has been waiting here. W4 EJW, WA4 WDV. Ed, go ahead.
WA4 WDV, this is W4 EJW. Yeah, I spent, I picked up a new radio, a Yaesu FTM 510 DRASP, and I basically have been spending time programming it and setting it up for Wires X. I've applied for the ID, and now I'm just waiting to hear from them, and also the necessary cables to connect it to my radio. So it's a C4FM fusion radio, works on all of the bands, and it's so far I'm impressed. It sounds really, really good. But that's been my week. This is W4EJW, back to the net.
Hey, here we are at the net again, Ed. W4EJW, WA4WDV. Oh, that's great. You're really getting to a tech area there that we have some interest in. Not me, but some of the guys on the net, so I can't really give you too much comment on that. But that's great that you're in that world, the X world. I had a student in my Purdue class last week. I found out that he said he was a radio ham, so of course I jumped onto that one, and so I've been corresponding with him. He's a new ham and technician, and so I've been giving him all kinds of Elmer stuff for the last 2 weeks. Been enjoying that, sending him in the right direction for different things and trying to help him out. It's been a lot of fun. Haven't had that opportunity in a while with you old experienced guys. Okay, Rick. Oh, by the way, Rick, I found out a fun fact that I didn't know. You know that the cable that you put in there, that orange fiber cable. I didn't realize that was actually CenturyLink company. They used to have the whole island here for internet and phone and everything. And all of a sudden, they were gone, and then I found out that this cable is their replacement for it, just a different name for the company, but it's CenturyLink. I guess you knew that. Is that right? K4RAB, WA4WDV. Go ahead.
Okay, it's K4RAB. Yeah, you're probably thinking about Quantum Fiber, which is also owned by the same outfit that owns CenturyLink. It's owned by the same parent company. So that's the deal there. Yeah, I've spent the weekend, some of the weekend with the Florida QSO party, running CW on the KX3 here, and even contacted its former owner in AGU just a little while ago. I thought that was funny. But anyway, made 171 Qs, I think, which is pretty good. I'm learning how to get out and run, which is called CQ, instead of just sitting there and doing shirts and pounds. But anyway, I'm trying to think what else. Put a word in for John at church this morning. Prayer for him, so hopefully he will be doing better, but I'm thinking it's going to be a while from what I'm hearing, so I just hope and pray for John. But anyway, and then I heard y'all mention ferrite beads. Well, a little late. Those little ferrets on those floats in New Orleans are a little day late in a dollar shirt to be throwing ferrite beads off of floats out there. It's way past that time. So anyway, back to you. This is K4REB.
K4REB, WA4WDB. I detect a little humor there, Rick. A little humor. Okay, well, let me ask you this real fast. Is AA4JS able to get emails or not phone call? I don't want to do that, but a text message or an email. Is he able to receive those? Go ahead.
I don't know. You'll have to defer to someone else. This is K4REB.
Okay. All right. Well, that just confirms that where he is and what's going on there. Thank you for that, you guys. KI4GED, Charles, 4WDV. What do you got for me? Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Alex. Everyone on the net. I don't have much information for you. I've been helping on the Cape Coral Gap Fest, and John's been helping me N6 JTH for sure. Appreciate that. And Rick's helping, doing a good job also. That's on Thursday night, Simplex at 8 p.m. local time. I missed the swap shop, so maybe we can get a report from somebody how it was yesterday, how the swap shop was. And I will miss the next one too. It's going to be on May 10th, the next swap shop. So nothing ham-wise other than the Cape Coral Gap Fest. So that's it. I'll send it back to you, Alex. WA4WDV. This is KI4GEV.
WA4WDV. Back at you, Charles. Of all the hours in the week, you have that Gab Fest at 8 p.m. on Thursday. I told you that's the same time as that one of my online classes. Be the same hour. I've been wanting to go on there and see what's going on, but I can't be in two places at once. Maybe one of these days when I get a Thursday night off, I can do it. All righty, Charles. Thank you for that. Now we're going to get, and I'm sure Tim's going to have a special event contesting the expedition. Oh, I have the expedition. That Angola, Africa. Man, talk about a pileup. That was the worst one I think I've heard in a long, long time. Country of Angola. Had a little thing going on here. Okay, 4WDV over to W6 Whiskey. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Alex. It's Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey here. Yeah, I didn't work hardly much the Exercise Canada this weekend. I did the Florida QSO party, but I did it at the same time as I did a proto activation. I went to Cecil Webb just after the swap shop. It was great to see everybody at the swap shop. Saw John, Rick, and some other people there. Good to see y'all. It's been a while since I went out there to the swap shop. Then I went over to Cecil Webb, did a proto activation and Florida QSO party. So made 87 contacts in an hour and 20 minutes. So basically I just turned the radio on. I was already on 20 and I found a spot and started calling CQ, made pretty good bunch of contacts, took a break, ate some lunch, and then got back at it. And once they kind of stopped coming on 20, I went to 10 and I made 3 contacts on 10, all in Arizona. Maybe 10 minutes for lunch. I was doing better than 1 contact per minute, so I was doing pretty good on that. So 87, it was hot out there, so enough wind. I had a fan out there too, a little 5-watt fan that did pretty good, so it kept me. Humidity wasn't too bad, but it was still like 2 in the afternoon, so it was a little toasty. But that was a lot of fun, so I got them in the logs, so that was cool. Submitted my logs just down to the Florida QSO party. So that's really the only check I've done in quite a bit, in quite a little while. So, yeah, a lot of fun. I got to get out there and do more of those photos, photo activations. So let's see. Other than that, not much else. Yeah, I really didn't do it. It was pretty much just me calling CQ, so I didn't go around the band and see who was on there. I just was calling CQ. So, anyways, a lot of fun. This is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. Back to net.
Whiskey, WA4 TV. Okay, great, Tim. I was really thinking that you would have been in a lot of this special event and contests, those kinds of things this week, because it seemed like there was plenty of it. But glad you got the QSOs on Porter. Congrats to you and to Rick with his 171. Yeah, you guys are really working it. I always like to work 2 or 3 or 4 POTAs each time I'm on. You know, if they're on there, I'm working them because I like the POTAs. But you know, Tim, what you ought to do is someday, you're a young fella, you ought to go up there to western North Carolina where Ian hangs out and do a soda. Go up on Mount Mitchell or someplace, or Blowing Rock has a good place that overlooks everything from the Blue Ridge Mountains from one public location there, or the Blue Ridge Parkway, one of those locations that you can look out over the whole horizon and do a little soda. Yeah, we haven't had anybody do that yet. You could be for soda representative. Tim, what do you think about that? I'm going to pause, see if there's any late check-ins for the Loggerhead net. If you want to be in the log as a late check-in, get in here and call now. Be lurking. We got a good count for the initial check-ins, which is going to be started again by Ham. And yeah, he's going to tell us about those auctions that you're having every week over there. K4HKA, WA4WDV. Go ahead, Ham.
About trees. You mentioned something about the ferrite. They're little barrels, are about an inch long. I talked to DX Engineering because I had this problem. I studied permeability, but I don't quite understand it. But it may or may not have an effect. I just put them in about an hour ago, did some wind link testing, and it's unclear as to the actual results. I want to mention the James Webb Space Telescope. I had an opportunity about a month ago to do watch a Zoom meeting put on by a guy named Charlie Anderson, who went to the same school in Boston. He was class of 80, and I was a little before that. He was the chief engineer, and it was just fascinating watching how the years they put together this unfolding lens structure and how they got up there. Just fascinating. It's on YouTube, called the Passion in Practice, Charlie Atkinson, 1980, class of 1980, about the James Webb Space Telescope. That's it for me. Back to net, K4HKA.
Ham, K4HKA, WA4WDV. Yeah, like I told you, the one for the Hubble telescope, I guess it was the 35th anniversary. Does that sound about right?
I don't recall.
This location there, Ian, in Alabama, where they were broadcast. Yeah, it's really amazing. Yeah, the ferrites that I have were the rings, the solid rings, and I had those in the cables wrapped around them and so on, like you're supposed to do. But again, didn't see much difference. But anyway, it was a technical moment, Ham. A technical learning moment, HI. Okay. So Ian, back at your KO4 EFS. WA4WDV, go ahead. I had to wait for you to get there again. Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%. I'm an anti-11 guy, and when that came out, and they said, oh, we're going to, upgrade, and everybody jumped on that, going from 10 to 11 because they wanted to sell you the software, the application software. Anyway, no, don't have that. Using 10. In fact, when I bought a new laptop about 6 months ago, another laptop from Dell, and I said, put Windows 10 on it. I said, okay, no problem. People often ask for that. How about in your list there, which I agree 100% with, that was an interesting list. I've got a Windows 7 computer that I really like. I really like that one. But let me ask you, the one you didn't mention, how does XP fit into your list? XP operating system, go ahead. Yeah, I agree with you. All of those percentages. I got to talk about. You must think I have a computer farm out here, but I got another laptop with XP. Yep, I love that one. So, well, we're agreeing all the way down the line here. Windows 7, XP, Windows 10. Yep, those are all my favorites. All right, we'll let you off the hook with that, Ian, and let you keep working on that repeater. Okay, John, Matt Lachey, N6, JDH, WA4WDV. Go ahead, John.
Hey, thank you, Net Control, again for taking the net. Depoda is what I do most of the time, and I'm always enjoying it, but I really appreciate the people on this net because it sort of breaks up the weekend, and there's always something good going on. But with that, another day starts tomorrow, so everybody have a great week, and I'll be 73s and on the side. Thank you again, Net. November 6th, Juliet Delta Hotel.
Oh, well, thanks for the flowers, N6, JDH, appreciate that. And down the road, I'm not going to ask you for it tonight, but down the road, I think you're still planning on doing that de-expedition or something, photography trip down to, if I'm not mistaken, Africa, was it? But don't answer that tonight. That'll be something we could talk about another night. The POTA. We like the POTA. Well, maybe you can be the guy who would do a soda. Maybe you can go with Tim and take some pictures of him sitting on the mountaintop there. All right, Ed, are you ready, Mr. W4EJW, WA4WDV? Go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, this is W4EJW. After this last conversation, I'm glad that my laptop is not capable of being upgraded to Windows 11. It's a Windows 10 computer, and I don't have any problems with it. So when the notice came up and it scanned my laptop, it said not eligible. Well, lucky for me, because I probably would have done it. But other than that, like I said, I spent the week trying to watch some videos on Wires X, and like I said, as soon as I get all of the information and the cables, I'm going to venture into that. So with that, I will say 73s. And also, thank you for taking the net. Always interesting to learn things from all of the stations that participate. This is W4EJW, and I'll say 73s and hand it back to the net.
Okay, Ed, I've got it. Thank you, W4EJW, WA4WDV, tonight's net control for the Loggerhead net. Yeah, we got a good, well-rounded group in this Loggerhead group, Ed. You got the, well, you've been listening, but it ranges everything from POTA through the digital modes to, here we are sitting on YouTube. So I got to watch my language every Sunday night. On into the HF discussions and CW. We got them all on here. Okay, Rick, let's see what you got remaining in your CW brain. K4REB, WA4WDV. Go ahead, Rick.
This was K4REB. Yeah, I'm glad I run most of the computers I have here I run Linux on, and believe me, it's nice. I don't have to worry about this, although the logging programs I like to use mostly run on Windows, so I don't know. I guess I should wait for Windows 13. That's got to be the ultimate bad omen for Windows. I have a suggestion for Microsoft that they just take the user interface of XP and combine it with the kernel and underlying operating system of 10 and call it Windows 9 since they skipped that number, because they're inevitably on their way to 13. So anyhow, it's all ridiculous. I'm going to see if one of the things I want to do is try to get, there is a way to do it, get some of this logging software to run under Linux using Wine. Then I could just thumb my nose at Microsoft. I get so fed up with their foolishness. So anyway, enough of that complaining. Let's see, we got an FMRC meeting Tuesday night. What else do I know? I guess that's about it. Enjoyed running the FQP. Like I said, I didn't really get in but about 4 or 5 hours of it. So I started something new I hadn't been doing, and that's calling CQ, because I'm doing search and pound. So I said, Florida, we're going to have to learn to do running. So that's what I did. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to you. Just remember, watch for Windows 13, K4REB.
K4REB, WA4WDV. Ian, get close to the mic because I'm going to throw one your way here. Did I read someplace, Ian, that they're stopping with 11 and just going to keep improving on that? Is that correct? Yeah, K4, K4RAB mentioned, you know, I like his operating system too, but I'm glad he didn't mention Apple. He never went that low, so yeah, nobody ever talks about Apple on this net, so I guess we're all in agreement on that. All right, thanks for the comment there. And keep your eyes open for any numbers changing in the Windows operating system. But I'm going to go on to Charles, and Charles, I want to ask you, are you getting my signal breaking up there, KI4GED, WA4WDV?
Well, good evening, Alex, and everyone on the net again. There is a little breaking up there. I'm not sure if it's just you or not, but there is a little bit that I can understand you perfectly on that, understand everything, so I'm not sure what's going on there. All I got to add to the net is I personally use Windows 7. I've been using it for a long time, and I still get updates for the Windows 7. I don't get it for Google or something like that, but I get it on 7. And the wife uses Windows 10. I'm not real familiar with it. I try when I have to. I'm going to have to do that too. She's lost her email. But my thing is, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So I don't have anything else, like I say, to add to the net. Hopefully John's going to get better, get better soon. And thanks for the update there, John, N6JDH. So that's it, 7-3. Everybody have a safe week. Turn it back to net control. WA4WDV. This is KI4GED.
KI4GED, WA4WDV. Okay. Charles, yeah, I like Windows 7. I use that out of all those operating systems. 10 is my secondary one on the laptop, and my primary is Windows 7 that I use for all my work, because it's more user-friendly. You got to do more stuff, poke around yourself and click on things yourself, which I like. Getting a little closer to DOS than 10 and 11 for sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to try to see if we can contact AA4JS there. So anyway, we're down to the bottom of the gunnery range here, Tim. So you want to wrap it up for us? W6 Mega Whiskies, WA4WDV. Go ahead.
Yes, Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. I have to agree with everybody. Macintosh operating system is no bueno. There's nothing's compatible with it. I don't see the point of it. So I know a lot of graphic designers like to use it, but in terms of practicality, there's just not a lot of compatible with it, and and so that's that there. And yeah, so I actually have a computer. It came with Windows 11. Honestly, I don't mind it too much. I'm used to it, so it's fine. I'm not super picky, I guess. I mean, as long as I know how to use it, which Windows 11, you kind of search every setting, so it kind of makes it easy. So you don't have to go clicking around. You usually just search in the search bar what you want to do, and it'll pull it up. So I kind of like that. But yeah, it was a little bit weird going from 10 to 11, I didn't even know. I thought they said they were going to stop supporting Windows 7. I didn't know they were still doing updates for it, so that was a lie, apparently. Because I heard that Windows 7 was not being supported anymore. Apparently, they were just saying that to get people to update, which I don't know why they would lie about it and then keep supporting it. But that's just stop supporting it if you're going to say you're stop supporting it. But oh wow, okay. Let's see. I actually was looking at my log, and I said I worked, which I did at the average rate. I was working 1 a minute. But at the peak of it, I was working 3 a minute. So I was getting 1 every 20 seconds about. So they were really it was just a pile up I had going, POTA and 40 QSO party at the same time. So that was a lot of fun. I did that last year too, but I did it at multiple parks. I think I did 2 different parks. And then I did home. Home. So I activated 3 counties on the QSO party. This year was just one, just Charlotte. At Cecil Webb. So next year, I think we might probably have a swap shop planned on. I think it's probably the 4th weekend of the of the month. So next year I might skip the swap shop and just start out, you know, somewhere down South Everglades and work my way up and try to activate 4 counties or something. So, and do a park in each one. So that would be cool. Let's see. Other than that, oh yeah, the soda. Yeah, my used to go up to Mountain City, Tennessee, Northeast Tennessee, about every summer. My family had my grandparents had oh, thanks to my radio here, the 150, it's got an alarm on it, so no blue crystals here. Let's see. Yeah, grandparents used to have a cabin up in Mountain City, Tennessee, and this is before I got into radio. But yeah, that would have been a good soda for sure. And but yeah, so that would be fun to do one of those too. Let's see. Other than that, I don't know that I have much else to say. This is Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. I'll send it back to that unless you got more questions.
W6 Triple Whiskey, WA4 WDV. Yeah, I'll give you another question. But first of all, you could be our soda guy. We need a soda guy. S-O-T-A, not D-A. Soda guy, so Tennessee, or you could come on down to North Carolina up there on the Tennessee border where Ian basically goes to and become our soda rep. But the Windows 7, when they said no support, that might just mean, you know, you can't call them up for help, maintenance support and help on the phone and stuff like that. I don't know if it really meant updates or not, but usually it does. So, you know, I think I do get those updates pushed to me. Yeah. My question for you, as we get ready to ride off into the sunset here with KJ4NKL, he's someplace 2 days out. He left yesterday, so he's halfway to the gold mine in Arizona. My question was oh yeah, Gulf Coast University, your fellow students, was the Apple operating system like a operating system of choice at Gulf Coast for students? Go ahead.
I mean, not really. I mean, all the computers on campus were all Windows, Windows 10 when I was there. So no, my mother gave me it because I was a college student, so I didn't. You know, my mother just gave me a laptop, and it was actually Mac. I hated the stupid thing, but you know, it got me through. And you know, I had Microsoft Word on it or whatever, and that's all you need in the internet. So I had what I needed on that thing, but I hated it because if I want to do anything, you know, you want to install software, well, got to see if it's Mac compatible and blah, blah, blah. And that's interesting, Windows 7. So I thought when they said that they were going to stop supporting it, they were talking about no more updates, no more this and that. So that's interesting. That's totally news to me. Interesting because, you know, if you got questions, I wouldn't call Microsoft. I just go hit up YouTube. YouTube's got all the answers, especially Windows 7. I mean, things have been around forever. Every question's ever been asked, you know, it's on YouTube. So that's interesting. Yeah. So, anyways, that's that there. Whiskey 6 Triple Whiskey. Back to that.
Oh, okay, Tim. There you go. You learned something tonight. Try to learn a little something every week, right? Ham likes to learn stuff every week. So let me pause, see if there's any late, super late check-ins for the Loggerhead Net. If you're one of those, better call now. Go ahead. Okay, nobody heard. So I guess that's it for this week, guys. Enjoyed it. Yeah, good one. And we'll see you next Sunday night. Feel free to use the frequency if you want to. Other than that, WA4 WDV, we closing down the Loggerhead Net. 73 guys.
Net control, second.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah, are you in the FMARC directory?
That's a negative. What you need to know.
Okay, can you stand by, copy a number?
Yeah, sure.
The regular area code for here, and then 300 5343 5343.
Okay, when do you want me to call you now, or do you have an appointment?
No, you can call now if you want.
We'll be there. WA4WDV. Anybody else? All right, go ahead. EFS, WA4WDV, go ahead. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So that would validate the fact that we're getting these updates, and that's the kind they are, and that would make sense. So thank you a lot. Appreciate that. I hope that W6WWW, did you hear that? Go ahead. QSL. Ooh, very good, QSL. Well, how about Roger that? Yeah, okay. All right, guys, we'll try signing off again and see you all next Sunday night. WA4WDV closing down the Loggerhead net one more time.
73, Whiskey 6, triple Whiskey cleared.
Cheers.
Hello, everybody. That is the Loggerhead net just concluded, and while I got you guys here, I'm gonna address something real quick. The Windows good and bad thing. A lot of people are like, what do you mean by that? And I'm getting some comments. So what I want to do is I want to pass along to you guys how this works, okay? And I'm finishing it up here because I was going to paste it in for you guys. But basically, here's how it works, okay? Windows was released in like big versions. Now, sometimes it was smaller versions issued, but for the most part, it was issued in big versions. And starting from version 1, you can actually follow a progression all the way through. It's pretty amazing, actually. And I think this will all fit. Let me put it in there. So Windows 1 was their first Windows, and it was pretty good. And then Windows 2 was actually not so good. It was not really that much of an improvement. Windows 3 and 3.11 and 3.11 for work groups were great. They were literally groundbreaking, that version. Windows 95 was bad. Windows 98 was good. I like Windows 98. ME, NT, and 2000 all released right around the turn of the century. Those were all bad, very bad. XP then came out and was one of the best. As you know, XP, my favorite of all time. And then Vista came out, bad. 7 came out, good. 8 came out, bad. 10 came out, good. So how are we supposed to feel that 11's going to come out, since their entire track record up till now is every other operating system has sucked large amounts of ass? So I don't know how we're supposed to take it any other way, other than just only buy every other version. And that's what I've been doing. I never had a Windows 95 machine. I never had a 2000 NT or ME machine. I had, everything was XP when it came out. When Vista came out, I never went to Vista. Everything remained XP until I started moving things over to 7. I loved 7. 8 was terrible. Never used 8. Never had 8 installed in a single one of my systems. Okay? When 10 came out, I fell in love with it. So there's just no way I'm going to break the pattern now. There's no way that 11 could possibly be good, because every other version of Windows going back to the very first version has been shit. And so there you go. That's my opinion on that. I'll wait around just for a second to see if there's any comments. There's just a few of you left. But I just wanted to get that out there. I think it's important to remember how these companies work, okay? And it almost kind of makes sense to do it this way. Because when you get a good operating system, then the new one comes out. You're going to want that new one because you really like the one you have now, so you're going to get the new one. Then you get the new one, and guess what? It sucks. So now you can't wait to get the next one because the one you have now sucks. Do you see how this works? It's literally bullshit. This is how it works. And so I just wanted to put that out there tonight at the end of the net. I believe that they purposely release shitty versions every other time in order to keep this cycle going. There you go. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign it off. This has been the Loggerhead Net, which is sponsored by the Sanibel Emergency Management. And it's done also through our local club here, FMARC. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know who keeps keying up, but I'm just going to go ahead and mute that. Okay, so there we go. All right, guys, have a good night out there, and thanks for watching. I do plan on carrying a few nets this week, including especially the Simplex net on Thursday nights. Be here. This is a great net here in Southwest Florida. It's all done on Simplex VHF, and you'll get to hear everybody right here because I got a 40-foot antenna, and I can usually hear just about everybody. And it's a great net because everybody is trying to get to everybody else directly without using the benefit of a repeater. So it's a really fun net. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night out there. I hope to see you down the log or maybe on the next adventure. This is live from Starship Studios. This has been the Loggerhead Net, provided on YouTube worldwide, on the World Wide Web, provided all over the world so people in ham radio can see this, and also so that people that don't know about ham radio can find it. So that's why we do this. Everybody have a good one out there. We'll see you next time. 7 3s.